Hello, 6'4" Owl parents. Mr. Hagedorn here with our weekly update. In Math 6 next week, we're going to be continuing our ratios unit, our Unit 2. Towards the end of the week, we're going to start our study guide and we're going to have our Unit 2 quiz number 2. Not sure if that's going to be Friday or Monday. We got through a lot less than I wanted to today, so we might be a day behind. So either Friday or Monday will be that quiz. The study guide will be next week as well. In Math 6 Plus, we're going to continue. We just started a new unit today. We started our Unit 3. Still ratios. The topic hasn't really changed. The unit number has changed. All right. So we're going to be working on that for the next 3 or 4 days. We'll have a study guide Thursday. Quiz Friday is the plan. That may get pushed back as well. We also did not get through as much today as I wanted to in Math 6 Plus. So we're a little bit behind. So that quiz will be Friday or Monday. I'll let you guys know that early next week. All right, have a great weekend, and we will see you on Monday.
All right, 6'4" Hours. I got the pleasure of putting two different hats on. The first of my hats will be my ELA hat for the 6'4" team. We're going to start off Monday. We're going to give back their mid-Unit 1 assessments that they took. You can see those grades are already in the grade book, and we're going to be giving those back to kids, discussing what they did, what they didn't do, because those skills that are on the mid-unit test are something they're going to see again on the end of unit test, which is what we're going to be ending with next week on Wednesday, Thursday-ish. So what we are focusing on next week is we have two different texts. One of those are in the student workbook. It's called The Hero's Journey. It's a nonfiction text talking about the archetype of what a hero will go through in the journey that they take and the different steps and stages. And what the students we've been working with is, how does Percy Jackson fit in perfectly with this hero's journey? And now we're starting to look at taking evidence from two different texts. This has been a challenge for kids. They have to read two different texts. Challenge number one. Challenge number two, they have to find evidence from two different pieces of text. That means they have to take one from one and one from the other. And challenge number three is they have to put those together and form an idea or an opinion from those. So that's been a struggle. So that's what we'll be focusing on next week. We're going to be doing that. We're going to be writing a paragraph. We're going to be practicing for the end of Unit 1 assessment. It's very similar to the mid-Unit 1 assessment. And so we'll be practicing gist, we'll be practicing challenges and responses, and then making inferences from those challenges and responses. And all along the way, we'll be using evidence to do so. And then we should, by Friday, be starting Unit 2. We're going to be looking at main idea, which is different than gist. It's a little bit more in detail. You're going to look at what the author's purpose and meaning is. And we're going to be doing some vocab work by Friday, hopefully. Now, that hat comes off. Science hat comes on. We started with Matter 1 this week. Matter, atom, element, molecule, particle with John Dalton's theory, and then we get some key points. We will be continuing that next week. We're going to introduce what stations are. It's what we're going to be using in class to allow different students to work on different things at different times. So we're going to introduce stations. We're going to introduce Brain Pop Science, Plasma Games, and Legends of Learning. And please, at home, this is just me personally pleading to parents, tell your kids to stop playing video games in class. We're going to give them educational tools to use next week. And if they could use those, it will help them tremendously. There's way too much video games being played and the focus is not in the right place. Any support on that would be great. Have a wonderful weekend. Your social days.
All right, friends, we'll talk a little bit about social studies as we end our video off. So we are continuing this idea of thinking like a historian. We're just about finished with it. Today we touched in on the 5 themes of geography. You'll see over here, what is Mr. Help, which is a way to help you remember the 5 themes of geography. So it's movement, region, human environment, interaction, location, and place. So we're working through that. We're going to play with it just a little bit more next week, and then we jump fully into geography, where we will be looking at different regions, once we know what a region is with the 5 themes, different regions of the world, and we'll kind of figure out what kinds of landscape and waterways might be there. So we'll be talking about the different kind of pieces of the land, what the world looks like, what does North Africa look like versus South Africa, what does the Middle East look like, and then why a human, an early human, would choose to live there or choose not to live there, moving on through that space for a different location. That's what we will be carrying on with in social studies class. One plea from me, as you heard Mr. O talk about the video games, which you'll see all the time, we are trying to get the kids to just X those things out across the top. They do find ways to distract themselves. Also, if you could help us out with some headphones, we're getting into more content areas, and there's videos that we watch sometimes in class, but a lot of times we have to watch smaller videos or smaller clips of videos in social studies, in science. Sometimes they're in a cafeteria. They need headphones. And so if you don't have headphones, it makes class very difficult because we don't have a lot of school-based headphones. So if you can go to Walmart or Five Below or someplace, and even just those little ones that you can just slide in the backpack, not the big old headphone ones, but headphones would be helpful for us. So thank you very much for that. Hopefully it'll be a nice weekend out there, and we'll see you next weekend. Bye-bye.